bishop f7 check, king takes f7 seems to be okay. So maybe this is somehow playable, but anyway, he took this. I can't take on f5 because queen h5 wins. So I need to actually play a waiting move. And I was also pretty surprised that white didn't seem to have something here. Perhaps something like knight e3 might be strong. Just take and slowly sort of break through. So some g6 and maybe even put the knight back on f5 at some moment. If I were to go knight f8, then you take, and something like queen c7, or maybe rook e7. And I again don't see a forced win, but funnily enough, after bishop takes h5, it seems to be only enough to make a draw. He was in some sort of mild time pressure. Okay, about 2 minutes left here, and he just missed that. Yeah, he just missed that rook takes f5 is a draw. Initially, my first thing was queen d5, rook f3, knight f6 must be a win because the rook is pinned. But in fact, white has another way of g7, g8, queen check, and take on d5 with check as well. So. And the funny thing is, if queen a1, king g2, queen b2, now white has to has to put the rook back, because if king g1, then queen c1 h6 is coming. So rook f2 takes, and knight f6, and okay, let's just say I don't know what's happening here. It's black could be better, but with such a king, white's always going to have a lot of checks. So. But after queen d5, it's a forced draw because of rook f3, queen d1 check. Again, I cannot go king g2 because of queen d2 h6. The queen is here, right? And
so rook f1?
Rook f1, and then back again, and then rook b.
And so forth.
Yeah. But he just missed that, so he panicked and went here. And of course, after this, it seems to be.
So he was already playing for a draw, yeah? Sure.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I mean, if you give up the queen takes f1, check, and knight f8, how's that?
Yeah. I would guess it was tricky for me because here you have the disadvantage that white has an extra pawn. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because then you get rid of that pawn.
But you mean here?
Rook on f1.
Rook on f1. But how about queen c4? And if knight e6, I guess back.
Knight e6.
No, back, knight f4 is there.
Yeah.
But queen h7, king f8.
So it's just a draw.
I would guess it's a draw anyway. Also, if knight e6, maybe some rook f7 move is playable. So, with such an exposed king with just one thing, it's difficult to see how I can. If I'm going to try for the win, I would guess this is a slightly better version because it's. But then you have to deal with an extra pawn as well. So, let's say I would have been happy with the draw already. So, and then once the king escapes, it's just lost suddenly. So, a slightly undeserved loss for him, but okay, that's how it goes.
But it's often these kind of Sicilians that when white pushes too much, then black wins or something, or is it not right?
It's one way of looking at it, but here, white pushes what he normally pushes, and he's a tempo up. So
yeah,
my hunch is it must be possible to improve white's play somewhere.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. Magnus didn't see the draw. When you showed it to him in the analysis, can you describe his reaction? Yeah.
Well, he didn't show. He must have been disappointed, but he didn't show it. So I mean, I mentioned it, and he said, yeah, I just missed that. We left it.
And you're particularly good, perhaps, when you're under siege, when you're under pressure at coming up with tactical variations. Does that in any way inform your play in the opening or going to the middle game?
Well, as many people will recognize, sometimes it's easy to play when you have only one move in every position. But to say that I sort of look out for these positions is stretching it. Definitely, I didn't enter today's position voluntarily. I forgot that I played bishop f8. I went bishop d7. I don't know, just something. My wires got crossed, and then it's just a bad version. And you saw White's initiative, so I can't say I was really looking for that. Maybe by playing the knight off, I was looking for some sort of action, but not this guy.
What did you do yesterday? Relaxing, resting for the game, or preparing very hard? Or both?
Bit of both. We went walking to Beverwyck, so that's always a nice way to relax, and then came back. We worked a bit, but it's impossible to work
But
the whole day.
you went through similar lines like that came on the board today?
No, like I said, I spent much more time with d4.
Okay.
I hadn't really expected him to play e4. E4 we just had, okay, if it happens, then maybe I can play the Chevy, and we left it at that. So we didn't get very far.
No. Okay.
What was actually the reason for your play in the first half of the tournament? Were you ill or something? What was happening?
No, I just play badly. I mean,
No, okay, but why? We know you play badly, but why?
I don't know. Also, I think while the tournament's still going on, it's you don't really want to look back and start analyzing. But I think it's better to keep the. Yeah, I mean the first loss doesn't help. Okay, not only did I play that game badly, but somehow the next few days as well didn't really go. But okay, I know it's a long tournament, and you just you play game to game and take it like that.
Any other questions?
Yeah. I wonder, let's say yesterday your opponent maybe was very lucky. Maybe he got even a full point more than he should have had. And today he was playing very actively and he was very close to a draw, but he didn't find it. Do you believe in justice in chess? Do you believe that over such a whole tournament everybody gets what he deserves?
I don't know. I mean, in general, I'm just I'm happy it worked this way today. Justice, well, sometimes justice is very cruel. There's no question.
But do you believe the ELO list, the current ELO list, is a current reflection of the players' tracks? Maybe that's what he's asking. Then we compare the
let's
year.
put it this way.
Yeah.
Magnus's ELO is going to keep changing a lot every month probably. So it's very difficult to say he's this strong because he's developing just incredibly fast.
But it's
even
not,
much faster than perhaps. I mean, nobody is really surprised anymore that he wins games, but that he was already doing it in 2008 here was unexpected. Let's say, or at least you wouldn't have bet on him leading the whole tournament somehow. So
still, he's not the proof that chess is in fact a casino game.
no, that's cruel. But okay, it's also a practical game. Afterwards, we can sit with the computer and check this, but it's a practical game as well.
Only chess ethics.
Yes.